Hi. So very good morning to all of you. We are again back with another topic of HR301, that is Team Dynamics at Work of MBA third semester syllabus. Today we'll be discussing a little bit about team building. Okay. So how we can develop a team and some other related characteristics. So what is team building? So team building is explained as the activity of formulating and implementing good work culture that decreases the barriers and increases the team members' ability and productivity. So that means team building is basically developing and implementing a work culture that is going to reduces the inhibition uh, for the group members and increasing the ability and productivity. That means a organizational culture that will help to improve the group members' ability and productivity and reduces the whatever the inhibitions that is there that is hampering their productivity. So the basic objective is to ensure an organizational culture that will helping the group members to improve their ability and productivity. Okay, so it is a broad term that is used for a number of methods which is aimed at increasing the productivity of the team. Okay, so the major objective of team building activity, developing a culture for increasing the productivity of the team, right? So how we can do that? Number one, clarity of objective. We need to give all the group members a clarity of the objective, what they are supposed to do and why they are doing. So you need to explain that very clearly. See, this is the objective of the group and this is the reason you are doing it. Okay, and this is your objective. At the end of the day, you are doing this because of this. I mean, this is your objective. At the end of the day, you need to fulfill that. So that is called the clarity of objective. Next one is the involvement. We are discussing in our several classes that employee involvement and the engagement is very, very important, right? So all the group members should feel connected or involved with the group activities. That yes, we are a part of the group. We have an important role to play here. Everybody, not a specific one or two person, everybody has a great role to play. So that is called the involvement. Listening is very important factor. I mean, all the team members should listen to each other so that everybody can understand that their voice would be heard. If the culture is that they are thinking that if I'm saying something that would be criticized, laughed at, and not going to be considered. So during in this kind of culture, nobody would be encouraged to talk and share because nobody is listening, right? So that's why listening should be encouraged. That everybody, when somebody is talking, giving some ideas, that should be encouraged. Others have to listen. That means all the team members should listen to each other. Definitely the team member have to listen to the team leader and the team leader has to listen to the team member. Open communication, that is very the interesting point. I mean, in a group the communication should be open. You need to communicate everything in front of everyone. There is no private talk within a group, right? So that will be creating a distribution of subgroups within the group, right? So that's why open communication is one of the most important element for building an effective team. Next one is the clear work allotment and the roles. That is very important. That is who will be doing what job. Okay, that should be clearly mentioned. And what is their role? What is their expected? What is their expected? Right. So there should not be any kind of role ambiguity. Role must be very clear. I mean, there should be a high amount of role clarity. So work should be distributed very clearly. So that is one of the another fundamental aspect of creating an effective team. Next one is the collective leadership. I mean, everybody, it is definitely there would be a structured group. In a structured group, there will be a designated leader. But however, everybody can play a role of a leader in some point in some of the activities. Maybe in some of the activities, one person is the best, who is a group member. So we are telling for okay, fine, for this project, for this area, will be this person will be leading. Okay, so that is called the leadership. Self-appraisal, that is very important. Self-appraisal, I mean that you need to I mean the group would be appraising, the management would be appraising, but the self-appraisal means the group members should be able to appraise themselves how they are performing. as per the goal that has been given to them, as per the objective that has been given to them. So they should be able to apprise them that whether I'm performing as per the standard or not. So that can also be discussed. So that is the concept of the essentials for developing an effective team. So if you can maintain all these points like clarity of objective, involvement, listening, open communication, clear work allotment and the roles, collective leadership and the self-appraisal, if you can ensure all these points to be there in a team, definitely an effective team can be built up. So there are some few guidelines for developing for effective team. So number one is emphasizing on the common interest and the values. That is very important, that we have already discussed. That if the group is having a common interest and we are emphasizing on that, it's not an individualistic job. It's a common interest that all of us work together, have to work together to fulfill this group and fulfill this objective. So that is the shared objective. I mean, common interest and the value. These are the values. We need to follow that. We are customers, the customer-centric organization. Customer satisfaction is our objective. So we need to satisfy the customers. So these are the values we are going to maintain. So that's the idea. So that is the common interest and the values is very important for a group. Next one is the use of ceremonies. That is another important, the feature or the rather guideline for developing an effective team. We can utilize that, identify different ceremonies to be celebrated. It may be the anniversary of the team. It may be some birthday of the team member. It may be the rewards and recognition ceremony. So we have to identify that what kind of ceremonies can be utilized for celebration within the team. Okay, so celebrate the small success of the individual employees or the as a group. Identify that and celebrate that. So that will increase the team bonding. So that will build an effective team, right? So that is called the use of the ceremonies. Next one is the use of the symbols to develop an identification within the team. We can develop some symbols, we can develop some badges, we can develop some bands, we can have some t-shirts. So which whenever we are wearing those things, it may be a badge, it may be a band, it may be a t-shirt, anything. So that will actually encourage that bond within the group member. Whenever we are wearing that we are feeling we are part of this kind of group, this group, we are feeling proud of it. Okay, we are feeling proud of it. So that's why this use of the symbols to develop the identification with the team is very important. So these are the three principles. Number one is the emphasizing on the common interests and the goals, and the number two is the use of the ceremonies, and the number three is the use of the symbols to develop the identification with the team. So these are the three things if we can consider whenever we are developing a team, that is going to be very effective. Okay. Next one is advantages of the team building, and why we are building a team. Improve relationship, definitely. If you are having a proper team building exercises, relationship between the team members will be improved. Enhance employee motivation, when they will be feeling part of a particular group, so they will be motivated, definitely. Boost morale and the ease of the problem. So if their employees are motivated, their morale would automatically be improved. Facilitate exchange of ideas, because if the open communication is there, that the characteristics we have discussed. So definitely the people would be discussing their ideas, they'll be exchanging their ideas, the new ideas will be coming, the innovative ideas, creative ideas will be coming out, and that will ultimately benefit the organizations in the group, right? Next one is the increase the interaction and the coordination. If we are working together and we are increasing as per the theories. In our earlier chapter, we had a discussion about the theories of the group interaction of the group formation, where we have discussed that if the more the number of interaction, exchange of ideas, the more the sentiment would be developed among for each other. So that will further improve the overall productivity of the organization, right? Overall productivity of the group. So that's the thing. So reduces the communication gap. I mean, of course, if there's open communication, transparent communication, candid communication, definitely what will happen that it will reduces the communication gap. Right. Next one is the remove the rigidity. If everybody is working together, the rigidity within the group members would definitely be removed. So these are the advantages of the team building. That is, improve the relationship. Number two is the employee, enhances the employee motivation, boost the morale of and ease of problems, facilitate the exchange of the ideas. Next one is the increase interaction and coordination, reduces communication gap, and remove rigidity. So these are the advantages of team building. So what are the disadvantages? Number one is the group think and group shift. Number two, complicated exercises, and number three is time consuming. Let us discuss from the last two. Time consuming, of course, if it is a group activity, it will take some time. Forming a group, it takes some time. It is not a one-day job. It takes some time, right? We know the stages like forming, norming, storming, performing, and joining. So there are a lot of stages are involved in it. So forming a group, developing a group, building a group is not an easy task. It's not a one-day job. And complicated exercises. Definitely, it's a complicated, as we have discussed. There are a lot of psychoanalytical aspects are there, psychological aspects are there, personality barriers are there in forming a group. So that's why it is complicated in nature. So a new member may be finding it very difficult to enter into a group because of the subgroups within the groups and a lot of other activities, right? So that's why this is, these are the disadvantages. So we'll be discussing group think. What is group think in our next slide? So what is group think? Group think means it's a phenomena where the people tend to conform with the group decision making to avoid feeling outcast. I mean, if somebody is telling, okay, so do you agree? One person has said yes, so other person, okay, fine, they'll agree. So everybody will be telling yes, but internally they are thinking, no, it is not correct. It is a bad idea. We should not have done that. But if they are thinking internally, if I'm saying that, so I will be outcast. All the people are saying yes, let's say yes. Fine, whatever. I can understand this is not a good idea for the organization. It is not going to be good for the company, good for the group. That is not going to help help in fulfilling the objective of the organization, rather hampering the fulfilling the objective of the organization. But still, I'll be accepting that because of the fact, because everybody else is telling. So that is the disadvantage of the group thing. Individually, if you are taking the decision, you would not have taken the decision, right? But now, as the group is telling that yes, fine, let us go for it. Okay, you are saying yes, go for it, no issue, right? Another point we have talked about group shift. It is somehow related to group think as well. When we are shifting towards maybe individually, we are thinking that is a good decision. I mean, we should take a decision. But now, whenever we are discussing within the group, in the group discussion process, we are identifying there are some, the opinion leaders are there. I mean, maximum people are taking a different decision. They are shifting to some other decision. Now, you are also shifting with them. Now, in most of the cases, this shifting are towards greater risk. That is not going to be for the benefit of the organization. It is for increasing the risk of the organization, but that is happening in the group shift. Okay, so whether a shift in the group decision towards the greater caution or more risk depend on the dominant pre-discussion norms, but usually it generally shift towards a greater risk. So that is one of the disadvantage, group think and the group shift. Now, the last point of today's discussion, we'll be discussing about the issues in managing the teams. If you're a team leader or the team manager, what are the challenges you may be facing? Number one is the planning. Planning is a very complicated job because if it is a big team, big group, a lot of members are available. So then they are having their differences in the opinion, personality differences, attitude differences. So planning to work together is difficult. I mean, it's challenging. It's not impossible, but it's challenging, definitely. Next one, the leadership issues. If it is a team, the bigger the group, you'll be finding leaders of the subgroups. I mean, there would be some informal leaders who are not designated, but the leadership has been created. People are listening to them. So that is the leadership issues. I mean, that will be created. Communication. Though you are giving your 100% to maintain your candid communication, open communication, everything, but there will be still challenges. People will be still telling that I have not been informed. I have been informed, but not appropriately informed. I mean, there are a lot of issues you'll be finding in the communication. Right. The next one is the goals. Goals are definitely in a group should be shared, but the group members are individuals having their individual goals. And sometimes people are giving priority to their individual goals, so that may be creating some issues. Being a team member, you need to put the there must be a coherence. That's very important. That is very important. And the group consensus is very important. Lack of accountability, because in the group, what is happening? As a group, people are taking the decision. As a group, everybody is working. So if something happened negative, so nobody is there to take the accountability. They'll be saying that we have worked in a group, so it is a group responsibility like that. So accountability is missing. So generating the accountability is a challenging task. Next one is the crisis management. If in a group there will be a lot of crisis and the conflict that will be arises, and managing that crisis and the conflict is a challenging task. And being a team manager, you need to handle on a regular basis, because if there is a group, there will be conflict. If there is a conflict, there will be crisis, and you need to handle that situation. Okay, so this is called the managing issues in managing the teams. So that's all for today in this section of the team building. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me. And we'll be coming back shortly with some more topics related to HR301. Till then, go through the slides and go through the other sections that we have already discussed. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask me in the appropriate forum that has been provided to you. Thank you so much for attending the session.